Hello, and welcome to Collect Jurassic World. I'm Victoria.
And this is Tim.
And we are your hosts on this adventure through all things Jurassic World.
That includes toys and collectibles, as well as movie, TV, and community updates.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the park is open.
Welcome back, everybody. It's quite a busy afternoon here on Isla Nublar. We're still gearing up for summer camp next month, and there's plenty of freshly opened dinosaur exhibits that visitors are just flocking to. It's crazy. Just so much going on. But we can't seem to find the park's IT lead, though. The IT guy is just missing. Has anyone seen him?
That's a really good question. With all these new things opening up, and there's one exhibit I'm particularly excited about. Hopefully Verizon Wireless gets here pretty soon so that we can talk to them about a sponsorship deal.
Yeah.
But, no, I haven't seen him. But we have a lot to talk about, so we're going to have to wing it without our head IT guy.
All right. Yeah, you know what? We'll send someone to go check the vending machines, and let's just head into asset tracking right off the bat.
All right, let's do that.
So, lots of cool stuff going on. Lots of dinosaurs to track here. Lots of toys. Lots of releases. Man, Victoria, we recorded maybe towards the middle of July. It hasn't been that long, but goodness, there's so much stuff that has kind of hit and gone on. Both stuff that you and I have collected since then. It's like there's just so much.
It's crazy. This past July was just toy overload. And so many things came out for Jurassic, in such a short time span. I feel like in the last episode, we had been saying it's been a little bit dry this past spring. A few things are starting to come out, but July was just boom. And not just for Jurassic. I mean, you and I collect other toy lines too. It's been crazy.
Yeah. It's just been nuts. And it makes me wish that with Jurassic, but all toys, that things would kind of spread out a little bit so I could enjoy it. I feel like July, it was I want this, I want that, I want this. Usually I buy other non-Jurassic toys, in the lulls when it's I can't find anything cool, I'll buy some other toy. But last month it was everything, all of it, random stuff that wasn't Jurassic I wanted. It was just crazy. But yeah, I mean, I don't think we can talk about literally every cool Jurassic thing that came out. So we'll definitely just we'll definitely hit the good stuff, and we'll try to squeeze everything we can in. But I think the first thing we want to go over is that these Camp Cretaceous figures that we touched on a little bit in the last show are really hitting everywhere as far as the US goes now. Target especially is kind of the place to be. They have that Legacy Collection Hammond set that we mentioned on the show, but now we actually have it. Awesome set. We'll talk about it later on. Camp Cretaceous little action figure set too. All that stuff. It's on Target and Target.com, and I think you found the Snap Squads too.
I found one Snap Squad. It was the Mosasaurus, and to this point, I had never seen a single Snap Squad at retail. And I must have just missed out because, it was the only one. So I assumed somebody or, some people bought the others. And I was like, Mosasaurus with metallic paint, come with me. So
it's cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah, I feel like of all the things to get a metallic paint job, an aquatic creature, it kind of just makes sense.
Yeah, no, it looked awesome. I love, if you're an old school collector like us, it kind of harkens back to weird things you'd see in the early 90s, like glow in the dark and metallic, things like that. So yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I like the metallic paint. I think it's cool, and it sets them apart from the other Snap Squad figures too. And I think it's interesting you note that it's the first time you've seen those there, where it's I'm in the Midwest, you're on the West Coast. Here in the Midwest, I've been seeing Snap Squads at Target for at least 6 months, if not longer. And it's just weird how that kind of stuff works. I mean, there's just no rhyme or reason to it unless you work at Target and know the regional planograms or something. But that's interesting. But yeah. Obviously, all that stuff and more hitting Target, the Epic Roaring T-Rex, the Super Colossal Indominus, all that stuff's on Target.com and as well as in the store. So we'll talk a little bit more about some of that cool stuff later in the show. But also that Target display, have you seen it in person or kind of just online?
Yeah, I did see it in person. And
oh, cool.
Yeah, it looks really neat. I'm really happy to see more Jurassic presence at Target. And this is pretty prominent. It's in the toy aisle. It's on an end cap, and it's all the new merchandise is supposed to be on it. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love like the big Camp Cretaceous poster. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, you and me probably go to the toy aisle at least every week, at least when things aren't crazy. And it's like you see all these other displays for Marvel and for TV shows you never heard of and all this stuff. And you miss when Jurassic was there, and now it's finally back. We have this nice, and it's not every Target store, so don't run out and go to your Target store thinking you're going to see it. I've noticed around me, it's definitely just like the super Targets or the big Targets, but this awesome display just full of toys right in the beginning of the aisle with that awesome Camp Cretaceous poster.
Yeah, I really like seeing that. Yeah. And especially for something like that's not even a film, it's Camp Cretaceous. It's the cartoon like Netflix series. Like that's especially pretty cool that they're going all out that way.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like the support of the show. Like it's not just kind of a throwaway like side project. Like they're definitely putting some muscle behind it. So it's cool. And it's another sort of like proclamation from Toy Fair coming true. I remember at Toy Fair, me and some other people there were lamenting to the marketing people there that Target didn't really carry Jurassic anymore. Like they just had old sound strikes and they weren't really getting anything new while Walmart was getting new stuff, and they were like, just wait, Target's coming back in a big way. And they were right. They weren't pulling our chain. Like the Camp Cretaceous stuff, the whole setup there, just super cool.
Yeah I saw the Mattel wrap there in the toy aisle at Target pretty recently. I think it was last week.
Yeah.
And she was, gearing up that end cap for the new stuff. So, you don't see those people very often. Like, I've never seen an actual Mattel rep in the stores. So, it was pretty cool. They actually have people, like, out in the field and, kind of looking at this stuff.
That's kind of a mystery how that stuff works. But you, like, kind of chalked up a conversation with them? Yeah,
because I had been looking for the Hammond set. I'm sure I gave you the lowdown on it. I had a really difficult time finding them initially. Just going to stores, Target, despite what the Pop Finder app said that, they were available locally. I went to a couple of Targets, couldn't get them. It was pretty frustrating. And then, I went back and I, talked to this rep and, it still said that they had 4 in the store. She's looking at her device and she said, actually, we don't have them here yet in the store. So, there was some disconnect between the app and what they actually had, it seemed. But, it was interesting. I always like, talking to those people a little bit and just kind of saying, hey, how's your day going? It's cool that you're doing this. And, sometimes they're depending on, they're different companies, right? I've seen people from Hasbro out before. And sometimes they're just kind of like,
get away from me.
Yeah, exactly. They're just doing a job.
Get away from me. Do not ask me about Funko Pops. Yeah. That's basically what they're saying.
Jurassic what?
Yeah, right. I feel like anytime I go up and talk to anyone in the toy aisle, like an employee or something, they're just like, "Don't talk to me about Funko Pops." And I'm like, "I'm not. I promise." I think I've seen one place like setting up like some Indominus Rexes, like the other one, the smaller one, like way back. Like, I only knew it because they were wearing like a Mattel lanyard, but I didn't have the guts to go up and talk to them. They were like literally working and setting stuff up, so I couldn't do it. But that's cool that you saw somebody, and I'd love to pick that person's brain if they knew a little bit about how all this stuff works. I mean, it's always kind of a mystery to us.
It is.
Yeah. Not to give Target all the love, but Walmart too is actually seeing some new Jurassic too, the sound strikes.
I haven't been to Walmart in a little bit. At least this year, Walmart had, when I had gone, did not have anything Jurassic anymore. Like they weren't even bothering with it. Yeah. So I don't know what the situation is presently, but I've kind of just been not going to Walmart. I think I last went maybe like 2 weeks ago and I didn't find anything. So
you're like, I'm really not going. It's been 2 weeks. For most people, it's like I haven't been there in 3 months.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. It's just, it's for, they're not like quite on their game to the same extent Target is as far as like social.
But they got toys there that Target doesn't have.
That's true. But I haven't found anything, the couple times I did go, in the last couple of months, I must have gone maybe like 3 or 4 times. I didn't find anything. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen that stuff at Walmart, the sound strikes that, we're talking about, the Parasaurolophus, the Irritator, and the Majungasaurus. I don't know. I did a review for Majungasaurus, and it was not pretty, the things people had to say about my pronunciation of them. But that's the figures we're talking about, and they're hitting Walmart. I know that Syats is hitting like Walmart in mass too. Like I saw a few this week. The epic roaring T-Rex that was previously like at Target is at Walmart now too. So Walmart's kind of catching up and carrying some more items. So
good.
Still no sign of like new battle damage, but other stuff there.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and Walmart.com too. I think like Sound Strikes, and we're going to talk about the Savage Strikes, the new wave here in a second. Like they're on Walmart.com, but you got to be like on your game if you want to get them on Walmart.com.
Yeah, I want like with the NECA stuff that's been coming out. It like the turtle stuff at Target and Walmart. Like it goes online and it's gone in seconds.
Right.
And they've been talking a lot about bots and how they have like bots that are set up. They use the links and they just buy instantly. So I haven't heard of anybody actually doing that for Jurassic, but it makes me wonder. Like some of this stuff, like.
Oh yeah,
they have to be right.
I'm sure it happens, and I'm sure. I mean, I like to think that like whoever sets that stuff up, like half the time they're just like, I'm stuck with all these stupid Parasaurolophuses that nobody wants, because it's like the market for Jurassic toys. I mean, it's decent, but it's not like set up a bot and buy out every Sound Strike that comes up. Like it's not that big. It's not like these NECA turtles, which I don't even know anything about, but I know via like just the internet that they're like a major thing.
Right.
So like of course people are going through great lengths to secure those as they drop, but yeah, the Walmart.com Jurassic stuff, it's like you got to watch it on Walmart.com. You got to check it a few times a day, and if you're lucky you'll get on and it'll say there's some in stock, and then they'll be gone the next few minutes. Yeah. So I have a theory that's how Walmart is like kind of battling bots and scalpers, is they like, yes, they have 50 figures to sell, but they like let out 2 or 3 at a time. I don't know. It's just a theory, but I mean, why else would they do it that way?
It could be over the next few years. I'd like to see some of these big box retailers kind of overhaul, the portions of their site that are meant to cater to like, adult collectors, because they're not really set up for that. They're not, they're not like, Toys R Us, they were a lot more geared towards that. But it's just in recent years, it's changed a lot. You have a lot more people collecting. You have a lot more things that are aimed at adult collectors. And I think they really need to look at, the logistics of how they run their websites and make them more collector friendly, whether that's limiting people to like one per order or creating like pre-orders, like actually letting people pre-order for a certain amount of time before, they go and order however many figures they're going to order from the manufacturer.
Yeah, a true pre-order. Yeah, like an actual, yeah. No, that's all good points. I mean, honestly, if, Target and Walmart need a couple consultants to help get their collecting off the ground. I know, too, that would totally help them do that.
Yeah, so. I think so.
But yeah, no, that's like a great point. I feel like we could talk about that all show, that whole like dynamic of it. But I mean, at least these new toys are hitting Walmart and Target, and the Sound Strikes and Savage Strikes obviously are a little hotter and they kind of sell out instantly. But if you're listening and you want them, like, go find the links. I think I have them on collectjurassic.com. Like, go find the links, bookmark them, and just check them several times a day. I'm talking about like the Sound Strike and Savage Strike figures. Like, eventually you'll get lucky. I mean, you just have to be determined. There's no like stumbling into a Scutosaurus. You have to like try to get one. But yeah, I mean, just keep checking. I think we've talked about that on the show before. Like, perseverance is one of your main tools as a collector. Yes. Yeah. And we also have some Amazon love here for the Amber Collection. Delta was on Amazon for like 5 seconds, and then I think it's been back a few times. But if it's anything like Charlie, I mean, one day it'll just be easy to get, right?
Hopefully, because I haven't had any luck so far with Delta, and I check a lot, and nothing yet. But yeah, no, I would imagine so. I mean, Charlie was kind of an enigma earlier in the year,
right?
And now you can just jump on Amazon, get her anytime you want. So I'd assume so.
Yeah, I would assume so too with Delta. It's just interesting how that stuff works. And then Nedry and the Dilophosaurus, which I think we've talked about, that were on Entertainment Earth, they are now like on Amazon for retail price, which is cheaper than Entertainment Earth. Sorry, Entertainment Earth, but they are cheaper than what you sell them for. So like $30 for the Dilophosaur, $25 for Nedry. Those are finally on Amazon, and they're finally like in stock and not selling out. So it's good that Amazon's really taking up, stocking these. It's not just third-party people selling them; like it's actually Amazon selling them. So that's a good sign for Amber Collection as far as people wanting to get a hold of them, you know?
Right. Yeah. No, it's a lot of people. I mean, you know, people pay for Amazon Prime. You know, you want to buy your toys through them, and you know you're going to get them within a couple of days. So yeah, that's awesome that they're getting them, and you know, I know a lot of people appreciate that.
Yeah, totally. And it kind of reminds me, just talking about like Amazon and collecting Jurassic, like through the past few years. I remember when we were going on there and like pre-ordering figures for like, you know, months out, and then like the day would come they were supposed to be delivered, and then they'd push the date out again. Like they had a whole weird sort of pre-sale system before, and it doesn't really work like that now. They just kind of say like, it's in stock, go, you know. It's kind of funny.
Right.
I remember like ordering like the Mononicus, you know, like 6 months before it was supposed to come out, and then like and it just like never, they just kept pushing back the order, and finally they were like, do you want to cancel this? I don't know, they must have changed something over there. Not sure how that works.
Yeah, it's interesting.
The other last kind of update we want to give as far as asset tracking goes is Jurassic Fax app, literally the app for asset tracking, updated with some cool Camp Cretaceous stuff. Do you even use the app? I feel like you're not really that into it.
I mean, you know, I have it, and if I remember, I scanned the dino into it, but probably like 80% of my dinos are not scanned into it. It's just,
right.
You know,
no, me too.
It's cool. It's just, but you know, I'm old school.
It's for kids.
For me, it's all about the toys.
Yeah, it's for kids. The toys are for everybody, okay? But the app is for kids. No, I use the app exclusively when it updates, and I check it out, and then I never use it again until the next time it updates. So, yeah, I'm also with you. I have 80% of my dinosaurs not scanned, probably more at this point. But it's fun. I mean, it's a fun thing. I get why kids are into it. And I don't know about you, but on your Jurassic videos, are people like badgering you to show the scan codes for that app? Because they're badgering me.
They used to initially, because I wasn't always showing them.
But now you do it.
Now I do. It's just, you know, I don't want to be asked about it for one. And it's like, you know, there's a little bit of a thing there, you know, they're like morally, I guess, you know, just about like, you know, should I show the scan code? You know, I mean, is that kind of, am I giving something away free? I mean, it's kind of like you're thinking back to the days of like Napster and things like that. You know, maybe I bought the CD, but should everybody have the song? So, you know, maybe it's not quite to that extent, but, you know.
No, that's an interesting way to look at it, though. I never thought. I mean, I have a similar sort of approach to like why I try not to, but like I also just like look at the figure and turn it around, and half the time you see the scan codes, so it's like I don't really care that much. I actually just think it's kind of funny that people are incessantly asking to show the scan code. It's like, okay, all right.
Yeah, that I wasn't showing it, I guess, as much early on, so but now I do make sure to have at least, you know, a quick shot where it shows it. So.
It goes to show you though that people are using the app.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe not you or me, but people are using
Somebody's using it.
Yeah. It's also cool, just a little aside, in the latest update, it shows like Camp Cretaceous on the Isla Nublar map, and this could be just totally like, you know, nothing. It could just be the app being the app, but like it shows you where the Camp Cretaceous is on the map, and it's like right by the old visitor center. I don't know if that's how it's going to be in the show, but it looks like that in the app, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's interesting, because it wasn't like the raptor pen in Jurassic World somewhere over in that area?
I don't know, because it was on the coast and it wasn't up toward Mount Sibo, which is where. Okay. I don't know. I'm not a Jurassic
The maps
geographer.
change every 5 minutes.
Yeah, right. That's true too. Yeah, the first movie. Yeah, I don't know. No, I know that like obviously. Was it the Indominus or the Rex that was up there? I just know that the visitor center and like quote the old park is like kind of in the northwest side of the island. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's what the 1993 Jurassic Park the magazine. Remember, I think that's what it showed.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then if you like look at all like the promotional like key art maps, they have like right in the middle of Isla Nublar, but it's not right in the middle. But yeah, lots of cool stuff. But we got to talk about these toys, not just talk about where you can find them, but I want to talk about them.
Yes,
but we'll get to that later. But let's go ahead and head somewhere else in the park.
All right, so we're going to talk about our upcoming exhibits, things that are coming to Jurassic World. So this is an interesting one. This one actually just popped up about a day ago, I think. Yeah. Tim, can you tell us a little bit about the Ceratosaurus Clash set?
Yeah, so it's a another playset from Mattel. We're kind of getting spoiled. We had the Hammond Escape from Isla Nublar, the Camp Adventure set. Then there's this Stratosaurus Clash set, which we kind of figured was coming by process of elimination. If you look at Toy Fair, you can see every single figure there has basically come out except for this Stratosaurus and I think it's Velociraptor Charlie and Velociraptor Blue. And yeah, it's a little 3-pack, and it was spotted in Chile of all places, which is always a little worrisome when something like that, pops up in a different country, not here, no sign of it here, no listing, nothing. But I mean, I think at Toy Fair there was rumblings of it being a Walmart exclusive. I don't know if that's still happening. I hope it's still happening. But right now, the only way you can kind of get this set is if you're in Chile. I'm guessing it'll probably pop up in a few other places too, but hopefully one of those places is the United States, because I definitely want this set. But I also want every dinosaur they come out with, so that really doesn't count for anything.
Yeah. Hang on, Tim. I'm booking a flight for Chile right now.
Oh, okay. All right. How much is that?
Yeah. It might be a little not the best time to travel, so let's put that on ice for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Yeah, that's interesting. Some of these things pop up in like the most the countries that they show up in. It's like, okay, why Chile? Why? What are some of the other countries? Some of these things, Colombia, right? Like that these sets pop up.
Chile, Colombia, Argentina, Brazil. Brazil's a huge one. It's interesting. It's like, maybe it's like they can ship them on the ground there, so it's cheaper. I don't know. I wonder the same thing. Like, is there like a Jurassic market there? Like, they obviously, to a certain extent, like liquidate some of these items in different countries versus like selling it at Ross or something here for nothing. They sell it there for like a markup. I don't know. I would love to know that. That will be one of the mini episodes on our toy documentary series that we can make someday. Like, why do toys show up in strange countries sometimes before they show up here?
Especially with this toy line, that's something we've seen, quite a few times over the last couple of years. Like, remember the Destructosaurs? Weren't they like Mexico and then Canada?
And I feel like Peru or something. I know I definitely back in the day ordered a Lava Surge set from Peru, and then they eventually hit here too.
South Korea
that's the thing.
also.
Yeah, those story packs. So I mean, the thing is, like, half the time it's like, oh wow, it's only going to be in this country. And then they end up popping up here anyway, so a lot of the times we're just scared for nothing. But there's been releases like the Legacy Story Packs that never came here, or they come here in such a minuscule way that like most people still don't get it. Like the Battle Damaged Plesiosaur is a great example. Like, not an easy figure to just come across here in the U.S.
No, never. No, it's really interesting.
Yeah, but this set itself, I mean, it's basically repaints, which might kind of lower the stakes for a lot of collectors, but for completionists like us, it doesn't. But it's a repainted Stratosaurus, like the Roarivore version, but I don't think he has electronics. Looks really cool though. And then Velociraptor Charlie in blue, and if I recall correctly, even though it looks like the Attack Pack blue that you probably have 4 of, I feel like they added like a little bit of metallic paint to them, like they've done with some of the Camp Cretaceous figures. I can't remember that for sure, but it might have a little bit of like a little deviation from the regular Attack Pack figure.
Yeah. So in this pack, we get 2 boob grabbers, right?
Yep, yeah, that's what you call them. The Attack Pack, the standard Attack Pack Raptor with his hands up in the air. It is worth noting, just like very tiny thing, like the legs are technically like the new version of the boob grabber mold, where they're not kneeled down as much; they're sort of standing up. We've only gotten a few Raptors with that new pose. I think they did that with the Attack Pack. It was Dino Rivals. I can never remember all these Raptor squad names. Was it Charlie? Yeah. So that was like the debut of this like tweaked mold with them standing up a little straighter. And the 2 Raptors that are in this new pack, incidentally, it's Charlie, who looks nothing like the other Charlie we got. Nothing like him at all. Or her, rather. And in blue, they do have that kind of new standing pose. Just something to note. So another reason why that blue Attack Pack in that pack is different than the one we already have. Yeah,
it's interesting how they didn't do one of each sculpt, like the boob grabber and the crotch spider.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting, crotch spider. This is a family friendly show, Victoria. Well, oh, I know what I was going to say. Like, I was kind of expecting a human figure in this set, though, after we got one, in the other Target set. Like, that was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they find a way to get all of them to retail, then that'll be okay. But yeah, for something that's just made up of things we basically already own, it would have been nice to have had a little more incentive to buy it. But,
right.
Like we've also said, if it's something that is going to be pretty obscure and only going to be available like outside the US, then it's probably better that it's not, coming with a human figure.
Yeah, no, totally. It's like I said, for casual collectors, it kind of makes the decision a little easier that they're missing out on something. I know for something like the battle damaged plesiosaurus, it was very hard for people that even just kind of collected to be like, I can't get that figure. It's so cool. But I think this one, for some people isn't quite as exciting. Yeah.
The Ceratosaurus, though, it seems like it's a little bit of an adjustment, right, from the Ouroboros version?
I think it's just doesn't have electronics. I know that like the render on the box looks totally different, but the figure itself is literally exactly the same. So
okay, so it's going to be like the baryonyx then, right? So one version has electronics, and another one it just opens its mouth, that sort of thing.
Exactly. So
cool.
Yeah, just like the baryonyx set.
All right. So next thing we want to talk about here is something that's a little different. It's not Mattel, but it's still Jurassic, and that is the Prime 1 Studio 1/38th scale Brachiosaurus.
Yeah, this thing is beautiful. I'm pulling it up here so I can look at it. I've actually ordered one of these Prime Collectibles 1/38th scale figures. I think we talked about it actually on the show. It was one of my pandemic panic purchases, but it's still not here. It's shipping from Japan, but this Brachiosaurus is new to us, and ooh, it looks nice.
Yeah, this is different. What surprises me about these is the price point. It's not like for Prime 1, it's actually pretty low. I know 1/38
because they're so small.
Yeah, right? I guess so, right? Like 1/38 scale, it has to be like the size, probably like smaller than a Papo, I would think.
35 centimeters tall is what this Brachiosaurus is.
How many inches is that?
Hold on, I'm not good at math here, so I'm putting it into Google.
I'm not good with the metric scale.
It's about 13 3/4 inches, so a little over a foot tall. So it's still pretty big.
So I have the Brachiosaurus here, the Papo Brachiosaurus. That one's probably like 14 inches, so I guess it'll be a little smaller than that.
Yeah. Which I think is a good size. I mean, you don't want something that's super tall
why not?
At this sort of, I mean, I guess I was trying to think like if I was going to put this with the other ones in this series because they have a T-Rex and a Triceratops, like, you don't want it to be, you want it to be able to sit on the shelf with them. And if it's 3 feet high, you're going to need a high shelf. But I think this thing looks awesome. The paint looks cool. Obviously, it's a high-end collectible to an extent, so the sculpt looks really good. Always kind of hard to tell with these official photos, though, what the actual product is actually going to look like.
Does, like, the main image on the Prime 1 site, like, doesn't it look like the box art of the Mattel Brachiosaurus?
Oh, my gosh, yes. Yeah, well, it's kind of a screen capture from the movie, too. So, yeah, no, it totally does. Yeah, this thing is cool. I'm anxious to see how it scales next to the other stuff. There's a T-Rex. Oh, there's a photo in here with it next to the T-Rex and the Triceratops. Wow, that's fantastic.
That Triceratops is too big.
Oh, the Triceratops is way too big, and the T-Rex might be a little too big, too. Or maybe the Brachiosaurus is just small. I don't know. They still look cool next to each other. This is cool, though. I'm probably going to get this. I don't have room for it, but, I mean, like you said, the price point is like, not that bad. Like $90, $100 probably after shipping, a little more. That's not too bad for a really beautiful looking version of Brachiosaurus. Yeah,
these are interesting. And, previously we talked about how for Jurassic, you kind of have two ends of the spectrum. You have stuff like the Prime 1, like the Chronicle collectibles that are like really, really high end, $500, $600 or more. And then you have the Mattel stuff, which, is more kid and casual collector friendly. And we talked about how there's not really a middle ground between those, but this is kind of that. I mean, these are not terribly expensive, like less than $100, and they are from Prime 1. They are, those high detailed quality, statue pieces.
Yeah, so like I said, that's $89 for the Brachiosaurus. The T-Rex in the same scale is $69, but with shipping it gets to about $90 But I mean, that's just very affordable, honestly. And I think there's a Triceratops too. I hope they make some raptors. Now that I'm like, suddenly as we record this podcast, like, should I collect all of these? But they're cool. I mean, I just don't like to spend $500 to $1,100 on stuff. So this stuff for me is just right as far as price point goes.
The raptor, if they keep the scale, would probably be like 2 inches tall, if that.
Yeah, it'd be small. I'm guessing they would do like a pack of them or something just to kind of keep the price point high and make it a substantial sort of thing.
Yes, like Nanmu.
Yeah, I'd love a Parasaurolophus too. I mean, that would be great.
The Mamenchosaurus.
What'd you say? Mamenchosaurus. Yeah, I mean, that's perfect for this scale because, I mean, it would probably be like 3 or 4 feet long, which is big, but like, you're kind of keeping it in keeping it sort of sensible by not making this huge thing. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I want a Stegosaurus.
Man, I'm glad I have you here to pronounce dinosaur names, though. That is not how I've been pronouncing Mamenchosaurus.
I don't know if it's correct, but that's how I pronounce it.
It sounds good.
Yeah, I want a Stegosaurus, though. I think if there was a Stegosaurus,
a Lost World Stegosaurus.
A Lost World Stegosaurus.
Yeah.
I mean, the Chronicle Collectibles one was the $500 one was cool, but it was like based off the concept art, right? It wasn't like based off the film.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, because it was kind of like a tail dragger almost.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see that.
Yeah, the Lost World Stegosaurus is one of the like, unsung awesome dinosaur designs of the Jurassic franchise. Very good.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. It's so big too. It's probably too big.
It's way too big.
But in the movie, it was just awesome. That was always cool. Always cool.
Yep.
All right, moving on to some more Camp Cretaceous stuff. I think, probably as we record for the next few episodes, we're definitely going to be talking a lot more about Camp Cretaceous. And we are certainly not over talking about it in this episode, but looks like it's going to be headed to McDonald's. I can't really give away my sources, but I was in contact with someone who said, or who showed me rather, that come September, Camp Cretaceous is hitting McDonald's with at least kids meal toys. After all, that's all that really matters. But I know a lot of people are like, I hope they do collector cups. I hope they, do this. And I think anymore these tie-ins are a little bit more reined in,
they're not going to do
usually
that.
just do. Yeah. Back in the 90s, they're going to make fry cartons with T-Rexes on them and do TV commercials and all kinds of stuff because those were the golden years for Jurassic and movie franchises and all that stuff. But
totally.
But anymore, it's not that big a deal. But kids meal toys are cool. I'm into that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking about those cups. I remember for Batman Returns, they had like these little bat discs that they would use for the lids of the cups. And then you could use them as Frisbees. Like, man, those are the days. Yeah,
that stuff's so cool. I remember, let's just go on a little tangent here like we always do. Remember the Taco Bell, episode 1 toys?
Oh, yeah, like the mirror, like Darth Vader Anakin thing.
And they had the special edition toys before that were awesome. Oh,
yep.
Yeah. Good stuff.
The puppets at Pizza Hut.
The what?
The puppets at Pizza Hut. They had puppets. For Land Before Time, and then for
like the big rubber ones.
Yeah.
I was thinking like fabric. I was like, I don't remember puppets. Oh yeah, I do remember those. Yeah, Land Before Time, totally. I think someone in my family had like an old Spike in their toy bin of a puppet like that. Yeah. That's awesome. What a blast.
The first movie I ever saw in theaters when I was a kid.
Oh really?
Land Before Time.
Cool.
And the Beauty and the Beast puppets and.
Have you watched that movie lately, Land Before Time?
Oh, no, I haven't seen that in years.
Oh.
I was thinking Beauty and the Beast, and I was like, I feel like watching that right now. No, but I haven't seen
I've seen that one. I have kids, so I literally see all the kids' movies all the time. But I showed my son Land Before Time a few months ago, and I was like, man, this is sad. This is sad when he loses his mom and he sees her shadow and stuff. Ugh.
They don't do that anymore. That was something out of Disney, with Bambi, that kind of thing. Yeah. It was you don't see that anymore. Like the Minions movies aren't going to do that. Or what else? What other movies do we have lately? For kids movies, Cars. I know you're really into Cars lately.
Yeah, AKA my kids are really into Cars lately. But yeah, Land Before Time is just brutal, but a great movie, great animation.
Yes.
Good tangent. But yeah, McDonald's toys, Camp Cretaceous. Can't wait to see them. Hoping that it's something like that we can kind of collect and not like goofy like bobbleheads with like vehicles or something. You know, they go crazy with McDonald's toys sometimes.
Yeah, and I don't know if I know some of us that some of the other collectors that we talked to last year in November. McDonald's had like, it was like I don't remember, 40th anniversary of the McDonald's toy or something, and they had they brought back a bunch of the classic toys that they had in the 80s and 90s.
I missed out on that.
Yeah, there were like 20. I don't remember how many. It was like 18 or something, different ones. And I was going insane driving to every single... It was supposed to only last for like a few days. So, I was going from McDonald's to McDonald's to McDonald's and calling and going around. And somehow or another, Tim, I managed to get every single one of them.
Oh, nice.
But I spent a lot of time hunting them down. And I had to buy one of them on eBay, I think is what I had to do. But... I ended up getting them all. And before that, I collected they had Hello Kitty too, like for Halloween, and she had different costumes. So I had to buy all of those.
Yeah, it can be fun to hunt them down. It can also be frustrating. It just depends on what the restaurants are telling you.
Yeah. And the key to it though is like, usually with McDonald's figures, they're usually about 6 to 8 in a set. And they always start with like number 1 and 2. Generally speaking, they always start with 1 and 2. So if you want to get them all, like you got to make sure you go like early on. That way, if you're there the first week, you can get the first couple. The next week you get the next 2 and so forth. Because once you miss them, they're really hard to track down.
Yep, and then you got to go to eBay. So yeah, hopefully probably maybe by the time we record again, maybe they'll be hitting and we can talk about that. Maybe talk about trying to hunt them down, because I know when I tried to hunt the Jurassic Park 3D Burger King kids meal toys, it was not a good time.
Oh, the watches.
Not a good time. I don't mind like heading to like Target and Walmart to hunt toys down, but going into Burger King over and over again is not fun. So
I'm thinking about the watches in 1997.
Oh yeah, the watches from Lost World, another good one.
Yeah, those I still remember to this day, like calling like a certain location because we were going to be going out of town, and my mom was like, well, call this one. It's on the way to where we're going. And I called and said, hey, do you guys have the Stegosaurus watch? Of course, Stegosaurus. And they said, oh, we don't have it right now, but we'll have it. I remember exactly how they said, we'll have it approximately on Thursday. And I was like, as a kid, I'm like, okay. So
okay, can I have it?
We went, and lo and behold, they actually had it. So
oh, sweet.
I was stoked.
Yeah, I think the one I liked the most was like the little silver one with like 3 little holes in it.
Yes.
That like peaked. Like that one was very like techie and just straight up 90s. But I always thought that one was cool. It was like gear. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, I could talk about these things all day.
I know. Kids' meal toys are great. So let's hope that these Camp Cretaceous ones are at least capture some of that in them, and that they're... and again, it's just good to see them supporting Camp Cretaceous in a big way. They being Universal, making these partnerships with something like McDonald's. I mean, that's a pretty big deal. So it's a good sign.
It's a good sign, as Masrani would say. All right, let's meander into the trophy room and see what is new. Obviously, we're constantly collecting, adding new toys to our collections. So yeah, let's have a look around.
All right. I mean, there's so much stuff to talk about. I mean, I know we've been saying that all show, but now it's time to start talking about it. I'll start off with the San Diego Comic-Con Dennis Nedry figure. I think we talked about it at length on the previous episode. Obviously, there was always some controversy for these exclusives, but now it's finally shipping from Entertainment Earth. It was briefly on Mattel Creations, which we talked about before. The website they were going to release their con exclusives on, Mattel directly releasing them. And I think it sold out in about 2 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that.
Yeah. We were talking about how, we were speculating how it was going to work out. And yeah, they sold out like in 2 minutes. It was on the website. And, I tried to get one because I had only ordered, the one, they were limiting it at Entertainment Earth one. And, as collectors, for some of these special pieces, we like to have one to open, one to keep in the box. So, but no, I didn't get through. So, I hope in my stead, somebody that really wanted it and isn't going to eBay it got it.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully a bot didn't get it, but you still got one from Entertainment Earth that just arrived on your doorstep today, correct?
It did arrive today, and I haven't opened it yet. I'm going to see if I can, get another one, and if I can, compare it. See, how we are as collectors, we're very picky.
Yeah, right. This one has a little dent on the corner, so I'm going to go ahead and open this one. Yeah,
exactly. That sort of thing.
Yeah, but I think last time we didn't really go too much into it, but I have one too that I have opened up. I've even taken toy photos with it. It's come out with me on excursions. It's an awesome figure, and I'm not going to go too much into it because I definitely want you, Victoria, to experience it for yourself. But it's just awesome. The Barbasol can is just, it's everything you want it to be. It's not janky or weird or like doesn't work quite right. Like, it's perfect. It flips open. You can see Nedry inside. The lighting on him is just like the embryo scene. Oh, it's so perfect. And then the figure itself is fantastic. Along with Hammond and some of the other figures. I mean, I took him out yesterday to take some toy photos, and he just looks great for that small scale too. I mean, they just did a great job on him, and the accessories are super fun. I actually like the bag more than everything. The bag is just great. I mean, you don't think about the bag when you think about Nedry, but
no.
The way he holds it in that first scene, I mean, it's a good prop.
Yeah.
It's a good accessory to have.
It is, and I love the photo you posted on Instagram with Nedry and Hammond, and Hammond's like,
talking,
"What's in the bag? Is that a new bag?" And
yeah, right. Because he would have been like, "Oh, yeah." So it's pretty funny. It's just a cool figure, and I obviously a lot of people were able to get one. Obviously, a lot of people probably weren't able to get one, but I have a feeling similar to Hammond, which we can talk about next. It won't be a problem, but hopefully when you open yours, you'll enjoy it every bit as much as I did. I think Mattel just totally I had high expectations for it, and they still somehow blew them away. So awesome stuff. But let's talk about the Hammond set, Escape from Isla Nublar.
Yeah, let's talk about the Hammond set. So this is the one that I mentioned earlier. I had a really hard time tracking it down. It was very frustrating because I know a lot of people weren't having that problem. Like if Target, had them in stock according to the Pop Finder app, they were able to get them, and I just was really frustrated. Like, it kind of reminded me of the Brachiosaurus. Remember, I had a lot of trouble
people are like,
that.
We can't put that out yet. And it's like, well, people everywhere are putting it out. Can you just put it out for me, please?
Yeah, that was a weird situation with the register locks and all that.
Yeah.
And I don't know what was going on with this, but either way, like you said, Target.com got them in stock, and they put all the new Camp Cretaceous stuff online as well. The big multi-pack with the Stegosaurus, the Baryonyx, and Darius, and Bumpy, and also the minis, the pack of the minis. All that went up, and so I ordered my 3 Hammond sets, and they showed up within a few days.
Gotta order 3, right? Yeah. And I think the quality control is pretty good on them. I didn't have any problems getting some Raptors with some good eyes and everything. No? Yeah. I mean, I definitely bought 4 of them to get there, but what was nice about not having to worry about what Ellie looked like and not really having to worry about what Hammond looked like, because I just wanted to get those Raptors correct. But the Raptors are awesome. Definitely my highlight. I just love having movie accurate paint applications for these figures. I mean, I know there's probably some where we're like, this one's a Jurassic Park Raptor, like the yellow battle damage Raptor was kind of that for a lot of us, and now we have a real one, which is a purposeful one. That's what I love about it.
It's a great set. We talked a lot about how people were frustrated about Hammond. They were livid. You remember how it was last year, and people were really like lashing out and upset. And we said typically with exclusives for conventions, they end up coming back, and now where are those people? They're quiet. So
right. Well, they're complaining about Nedry. They're not quiet.
There you go. They're complaining about Nedry now. There's always something to complain about. Even us. We're collectors. That's what we do.
Yeah, right.
But I have a feeling that somehow or another they'll manage to get him into the line somehow. It might not be with the awesome packaging or all the really cool accessories that he comes with, but I envision that in the future there will be another chance to secure Nedry.
Right, and I think like even when it does come out as a general release, it can still be super exciting. Like this Hammond set in packaging looks amazing. It's got like the awesome Primal Attack background, but the banner they included with it like totally makes the packaging and makes the set. I mean, I thought that the banner was going to be significantly lower quality. Just for comparison's sake, I have a Sideshow Jurassic Park statue on my shelf in front of me. It cost me $250 back in the day. it came with a banner. It was like one of those things where if you bought it directly from Chronicle, they gave you the banner, but if you like bought it somewhere else, you didn't get the banner. You know how it is with those high-end stuff.
Yeah.
So I get this banner. And compared to the Mattel one, it's like night and day. Like this is like a crappy like screen printed on like polyester or something, like something weird. It's faded. It came faded. It doesn't look like a cool banner. But the one that came with Mattel is so nice. I mean, it is like smooth and the colors are bright and it's durable. Like you're not gonna like run your finger over it and scratch the ink off. Like it is just really nice.
It's legit. It's like a ribbon material. And what I like about it is how it has these really long strings on the end, so you can hang it wherever you want. And I think I'm going to put it on my shelf, like hang it between the two, like where I have my Legacy collection figures, and I think it'll work there.
I haven't even thought about where I'm going to put it. I'm kind of in like a crisis with my collection room. I'm going to like totally redo it at some point here in the next few months. So I definitely have big plans for where I'm going to put this banner. But this set is just so cool. But we also have like a bunch. We have like the Camp Adventure set. You kind of mentioned it with Bumpy and Darius. I mean, that's a great set too. It
is. It's a really enjoyable set. When I first saw pictures, I was like, okay, human figure, that's what we want. Bumpy's cute, but it's not the only way to get Bumpy. And the Baryonyx didn't really excite me, but then the set comes in, and I did an Instagram review, like an Instagram TV review on it live, and I found the set to be a blast. I really did.
Yeah, it's something about like all the ingredients coming together. It's
exactly.
like, yeah, okay, another Stegosaurus. Yeah, okay, another Baryonyx. But it's like, yeah, then you get like, if you're like us and you're like a toy photographer or you're just really into Jurassic, like your mind is suddenly like, what's Darius doing with Bumpy? Like, what's he going to come across when he like finds the Stegosaurus? Like your mind just kind of unfolds with the playset, which is awesome because I know for a fact that's what kids do with it too. So a total success there.
Yeah, no, it's a great set. I think that's my favorite Stegosaurus now that I have it.
Yeah, a lot of people say that, and I just kind of like that it blends in with the first one too. Like as far as just like the pattern and everything, I always like that sort of matching mating pairs that they do. So it's cool. And the Baryonyx is like, I mean, it's a beautiful figure, but like we have so many Baryonyx. That's an interesting, besides the Attack Pack Raptor, what is the most produced sculpt from Mattel? I mean, Baryonyx is definitely getting up there. It's got a lot.
Triceratops maybe also.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, we got a lot of Baryonyx. And I guess they have like names in Camp Cretaceous, so this is only one of them. So we can probably expect 2 more figures at least. But yeah, I mean, those the play sets. Obviously, those are very exciting. Big drops for everybody, not just more repainted dinosaurs, but actual play sets. A couple other things I want to mention are the minis. I mean, I am not a mini dino person like the Mattel mini dinos, but these little multi-pack sets are very cool because you kind of get like every dinosaur in the show and all in one spot. And they have some cool stuff like the bioluminescent Parasaurolophus in one of them. So it's like this translucent kind of clearish Parasaurolophus. I mean, that alone is so cool. They're a little pricey. $30 for the 15 pack is a lot, but but it's cool. I mean, it's just a cool introductory to the show.
Yeah, no, it's a neat looking set, and like you said, that for me, I haven't gotten that set yet, but the Parasaurolophus, that reminds me a lot of like the little plastic dinosaur toys I had like in the late 80s, early 90s. Some of them actually glowed in the dark. Some of them were just like those little clear plastic dinos, and I
had so many of those. Yeah. I mean, you just had so many, like of all different brands. Get them from like Chuck E. Cheese. Like I had so much of that stuff. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, talking about Happy Meal toys though, there was a restaurant chain in Texas, Whataburger, and they're still there. And they're in other states or in the area too. But they when I was like, I must have been like in pre-K. I remember they had for the Happy Meal toy, the kids' meal toys, they had like those little plastic dinosaurs, and they would line them all up on the window, the drive-through window, and then when you would drive by, you get to pick out what dinosaur you wanted. And
that's cool.
It was awesome. And I remember like one time my mom took me, and the guy was like putting his finger on each one, and that like for like 5 minutes until I decided which dinosaur I wanted. And
that's great.
Yeah, memories.
Yeah, I mean, the minis, I think, are definitely hit some sort of demographic with like kids that like that kind of little collectible stuff. So these packs are just a great way to kind of bulk up on them versus a mystery pack. So I like them. I didn't even buy like the legacy mini packs back in the day, like, but they didn't really do anything for me. But these Camp Cretaceous ones are definitely awesome. Maybe I'm just all caught up in the Camp Cretaceous hype. I don't know. But those are very cool. Amber Collection has been hitting. Have you gotten the Nedry and Dilophosaurus yet?
Yeah, mine came in maybe 2 weeks ago from Entertainment Earth. Yeah, I got 2 of each. That way, I could have my opener and then I could have, some, one of each to keep boxed. Yeah. Which I don't do that with everything. I know you don't either, but for Amber Collection
I do it with.
Yeah, same here. So... no, I haven't gotten a chance to open any of them yet, though. So I'm still working on that.
That's where we're at. I mean, what we talked about in the beginning of the show, it's like there's so many toys, you can't possibly open them all and get your enjoyment out of them. Then you go 3 months without getting anything new. But I did open the Amber Collection figures finally. And I already ordered another Dilophosaurus, so I have a third one coming because I want 2 out of the box. I liked it that much. I like the frillless version. I love the frill too, but like the frillless version is great. So I need to have both of them on the shelf, of course. So that's coming. And Nedry's cool too. I mean, if you like the Amber Collection figures, I know some people, the human figures, they're not really feeling those, but. I loved Malcolm. I know there's people out there that weren't big fans of him, and I think that Nedry's a great continuation of that. It's sort of funny that we're starting off the Jurassic Park cast with Malcolm and Nedry, without any of Ellie or Alan, but or Hammond even. But I mean, it's a start, and I hope we get to see more.
I hope so. I mean, like we've talked about multiple times, the collection's gotten off to a really slow start. But now they're finally starting to put more out there. But yeah, we want to see more of these humans. We want to see, the ones you mentioned. We want to see them expand into other films as well. And, we don't have any female human characters yet in Amber, so hopefully soon.
That's true, yeah. And I wonder who they'd bring first. Hopefully it would be Ellie, but I would take a Claire figure too. If it was Jurassic World Claire, that would be awesome.
That version of Claire would be my preference too.
Yeah, we'll see. But another thing I want to mention with the Amber Collection, I know we're always talking about how much we love these toys, but I mean the quality control is a real issue that I think we all face. And these Amber Collection figures, at least in my experience, especially this Dilophosaurus, there's been some issues. I mean, I've seen a lot of them kind of widespread with this jaw not quite being like closed up at the hinge. It's kind of just like the plastic didn't bend all the way, so it's not like something you can just take out of the package and glue. Like it doesn't really work like that. It's a bummer because people pay $35 and wait a month for it to get there, and then it's defective, and I feel for that. And I know Nedry's had some glasses issues too. One of the ones I had like these really weird, like squeezed together unpainted glasses. It was strange. So, I mean, these are collectible figures, adult collector figures, and that's just not what we're paying for,
Right. That really needs to be addressed. They obviously shouldn't ship from the factory that way. One of my Nedry's, his eyes are like, he's looking to the side, kind of. Did you see that photo?
Yeah, right.
Like weird stuff like
Nedry.
that. It's just, I mean, these should be pretty consistent. And I don't know what Mattel's doing to paint them. Like, I know, Hasbro uses the photo reel for most of their, 6-inch lines.
Yeah.
And I think Mattel has some similar sort of, facial printing for the 3 3/4 inch. I don't know if they're using it for the larger figures, though.
Yeah, I don't know. And even on the smaller figures, it misaligns often. So yes. I just feel like I know that we get really nitpicky about stuff, and I can't expect them to hold up the production line to get the eye perfectly on the thing. I mean, they used to in the old days. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Kenner used to do it all the time, but I understand it's a little bit more complex than just I don't know. I know that there's a lot of costs involved, but when I see some of these Nedry figures with the glasses, it's like this is just paying someone at the end of the assembly line to look at it and say no. Right. That's basically what it is. Or they're looking at it and saying that's acceptable. Maybe there is someone that's pushing out figures that are totally screwed up, but they've set the bar that something like unpainted glasses squished together on their face. Like, that's fine. Send it through. Like, they need to like up the bar, I guess, and really like start weeding out some of these really ugly QC issues, because it's not fun. It's not fun.
Yeah, it's not. You know, the last thing anybody wants to do is pay $35 for a figure and wait for a month, like you said, and then it comes in. You're excited to finally get it. You open it up, and it has those issues. Like, I'm sure I've said it before. I can live with like minor things here and there, but anytime you're talking about like the face or like the eyes or anything that you're like automatically going to look at, that's really hard to deal with. So
yeah, totally.
Hopefully they look at that.
Yeah, it's really just it's like it happens on all figures, but the Amber collection is this like price pointed adult one. Like, they really need to figure it out. So sorry to bring everything down to the Amber collection, but had to get real for a second. But we have some other cool stuff, to talk about. I know our last episode we did a Packy Arena, and that inspired you to make a purchase.
Yes, it did. So I mentioned in that episode how I had never gotten the Lost World Ramhead Pachycephalosaurus, the large one.
The big one.
The big one. Yeah. I got her. I finally got her. Finally added her to the collection 23 years later. And I got her on eBay. Got a really good deal. I think like shipped, it was like $60, brand new in the box. Gorgeous box, by the way. And it's something that I finally have. And
how much did you pay?
Yeah, so it was an auction. I actually won the auction at $36, and then with shipping, she came in total at $51. So.
Oh wow! No, that's great. $51 for like what you said is basically a really nice box. I mean, that is.
Yeah, I'm happy, and I'm trying to resist opening her up, because that was what I was planning to do.
Oh, really? Ooh. I mean, I feel like if you really wanted to open one, you could probably find a nice lot with that one in there. But
yeah,
it always feels so wrong to open up good boxes. Bad boxes all day. But...
Yeah, that's generally my perspective as well. So I might just hold on to it for now. I mean, I've waited this long to get it. I don't need to open it right away. Yeah. Maybe if I find a damaged one, like a damaged box later, I can try and go for that as an opener. But I do the same thing. Like, if it's like a pristine, like Kenner box, it's like, yeah, don't, mess with that. But if it's like kind of beat up and it has like holes in the card back or stickers.
Might as well just open it up, right? Get that mint 25-year-old figure out of there.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. Kind of bringing it back contemporary, the sound strikes that we talked about in the show, I didn't want to miss that. I mean, folks, we did say we were going to be talking about a lot of toys, and obviously we're still going, but I don't want to miss out on these sound strikes, because I know you got them, I know I got them. I think we both have our favorites, but I'm really happy with this kind of wave of sound strikes.
Yeah, it's the best wave of $15 figures in a really long time.
Yeah.
I'm stoked about this wave. Amazon Japan listed I don't know, early July or something. I got in on the pre-order, and they shipped. They arrived within like 3 days, I think. 3 days maybe. And I was stoked. I did an Instagram live, just kind of opening the box from Amazon Japan and showing like, look how awesome these are. And then I started doing my reviews for them. And I'm stoked about these dinosaurs. They're awesome. Yeah,
so we got Parasaurolophus, Irritator, say it with me, Majungasaurus.
There you go. Yeah, Majungasaurus.
And I when they were announced, I was like, ooh, I don't know. I think I'm feeling the Irritator, but now that I have them in hand, I really like the Parasaurolophus, even though it's a repaint, but they did some sculpting, like a little bit of difference in the neck, which allows you to make it bipedal. You could pose the old one bipedal, but it just looked weird. Like he looked like he was like looking up at the sky, whereas now this one, the neck and the head pivot totally differently, so you can really get a nice bipedal stance on Parasaurolophus, and it looks really nice. That's kind of my favorite, and I almost want to get another one, but Irritator and Majungasaurus are both awesome too. I think we talked privately. You said, wait till you get Majungasaurus in hand, you'll like it better. And that was totally true. I didn't realize he had his little tiny Carnotaurus arms. He's got little tiny arms.
Itty bitty. Yeah, they're cute.
Yeah, like really small.
Yeah. When I saw it online, it was another one of those that I was like, I don't know. It looks like it got like hit in the all over with like Crayola crayons, and it does, but like in hand, it's so unique, and that's what I kind of go for these days with this toy line. We've had so many dinosaurs, so many repaints, that I kind of tend to gravitate more to things that are a little different, and this Majungasaurus is definitely a little bit different from anything we've had before.
It's got a little bit of metallic sheen on it too, which I think kind of helps those colors really pop. But yeah, I mean, like you said, this is the best $15 figure wave we've probably ever had. I mean, there's always some like kind of snore figure in the line, like whether it's a Triceratops, I feel like those were never popular, or the Pteranodon. For me, I'm not a big fan. It just feels way too big, and the paint apps are never that like, whoa, cool, I want that. But this wave across these three figures, it's like bam, bam, bam. So a lot of shelf presence on those. I did not get mine from Amazon Japan. I got mine from Walmart.com. Just kept checking those links. Shout out to Greg. We'll do our episode. Every episode we got a shout out to our friend Greg who helps us with links. But he helped me get those Walmart.com orders for those in. I actually had them ordered from Amazon Japan, but was able to cancel them because they never shipped. But I got my Walmart.com versions, and they're great. Like I said, Parasaurolophus by far my favorite, but they're all really, really good, and I think people, I think they'll just keep showing up more and more in store, and I think they'll be popular.
I think so too. And you know what I'm starting to think? I think Greg is like, you know who Lobit is from The Empire Strikes Back?
Lobit?
Lobot.
Oh, Lobot.
Yeah.
And it rings a bell. Who is it?
Okay, on Cloud City, you know Lando's like helper.
Oh yeah, with the thing around his head. Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
he's like somehow like cued into like the computer systems on Bespin or whatever. Yeah. So yeah. I think Greg is kind of like that. He's like somehow like wired into like all these websites.
I don't know.
And when something goes in stock, he's like, oh, it's in stock.
I definitely am like deep into this stuff, and I definitely have my lists on websites, and I definitely check stuff a lot, but I can never touch him in the accuracy of being like, oh, it's in stock. I'm like, how are you checking all these things? I imagine it's like a computer window with just like 90 windows open and they're all refreshing. I don't know, but with his help was able to get those figures. So appreciate that. But you too can get these links and kind of refresh all the time and figure out where they are. I'm kind of thinking, like, you know, with every wave, there's always figures that like are just left on the shelf in mass. What's it going to be with this wave? Is it going to be Parasaurolophus?
Probably, because Parasaurolophus was already available. Not in huge numbers. Like thinking back, like I don't ever remember seeing it in huge numbers, but I would tend to think so. I mean, I know they always say herbivores are lower sellers, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't look too different from the last one. It looks a little different, but yeah, I would think it'd probably be that one.
Yeah, probably, which is good news for me because I kind of want to get another one, but I just don't want to obsessively refresh Walmart.com.
Yeah,
but,
I don't either. Honestly, I enjoy it enough, but I'm not like a huge fan of it. I think it's okay. The Irritator, though, the dinosaur is also like okay, but what I was really a fan of is the sounds that it makes.
Yeah, like a lot of the sounds are at least remixed enough that they seem like they're sort of original, right?
They seem different. I don't know if we've heard these particular sounds before. It definitely has a different vibe, because a lot of the times with these like roarivores, you hear like the Indominus Rex type sounds. And
right, like you hear the hiss over and over again.
Yeah. This sounds new. It sounds different, and I don't know. It's a cool dino. It's you know, it looks a little like things we've had before, but it's different enough.
Yeah, and I think all of these just really add something to the roster, and to even Parasaurolophus, or you keep saying it differently than me, which makes me insecure about how I'm saying it. Well, how are you saying it?
Parasaurolophus.
Parasaurolophus. I don't know if I'm ready to like unlearn like 33 years of saying it one way. Parasaurolophus sounds right.
Yeah, you know, I remember as a kid seeing like a documentary on dinosaurs. I don't remember what it was, but I remember they pronounced Dimetrodon, and I know some people say Dimetrodon, but in this documentary they said Dimetrodon, and I always thought that sounded terrible.
Yeah, like you said, some people say things totally different, so it's like I never know really who to believe. So I'm just gonna keep saying Parasaurolophus. Everyone can deal with it. But yeah, awesome figures. One other thing I wanted to round out our little trophy room with, because it's my personal trophy for a couple reasons this month, is the Battle Damage Albertosaurus repaint. This thing was hell to get. They did not come out here in the U.S. Surprise, surprise. And at the time, right around when the pandemic started to take hold, I was able to find somebody in Brazil where they were located, literally the only country where they were located, and have them go out and get me some. And then like the shipping between our countries just shut down, and I had no idea what to do. I had sent them some Amber Collection figures, and I was just waiting for them to send my figures, but they couldn't ship to the U.S. And anyway, long story short, I finally got it this week, and it's a beautiful figure. Not to make everybody jealous because it's so hard to get, but it's awesome. It's one of those repaints that, in my opinion, looks great. I know when it got revealed, people thought it was like a weird like Crest toothpaste Albertosaurus. Whatever. I'm not hearing that because I love this paint application on it, and it means something to me because it was just so hard to get. Yeah. But since I got it in Brazil, it's available in Canada now, which usually is good for everybody. I mean, that stuff pops up on eBay, and there's lots of people that are willing to help you out, so that's good.
I didn't know that it's in Canada now.
Yeah, it's in Canada, and like it's showing up like pretty regularly. So, if you want it, Victoria, I would not waste time. I would get on this one. I really like it, and the reason why it also meant something to me was at the time when I got it, that put my Mattel Jurassic collection at 100% complete. So that means every figure in any country, wherever, I literally tracked every single one down. And I every once in a while, I'll get there. I remember when I got Quetzalcoatlus like a year or so ago, I was 100%. And then like I got a Legacy Story Pack and I was 100%. But something always happens. Something always pops up, and then I'm back to searching again. And this time it was this dang Ceratosaurus Clash set that we talked about earlier in the show. Now I need that. Now I'm not at 100% anymore. Now I'm at 99.9% again.
Right.
I need to get that. But it was nice while it lasted. And again, it's a beautiful figure.
It is. That's
excited about that.
I love that figure. When I first saw like photos, I remember it was like maybe January, right? The photos started showing up of that.
Yeah,
and
it was definitely
I loved
a while
it the
ago.
instant that I saw it, like the colors. Like teal's my favorite color, and that's kind of like a shade of teal. And I love that figure. The Albertosaurus is still like maybe like it's definitely a top 10. Yeah, it's an amazing.
It's
toy.
one of the best.
And probably a top 5 actually. But it seeing a repaint of it, and we knew a repaint was coming because, well. We knew a repaint was coming of it. So, but we didn't know the details, and the fact that it ended up looking really cool and unique because there's not really anything else in the line that looks that color.
Right. That's what I love about it too.
So
is that like there's nothing else like it.
Yeah, and that's like the number one thing that I want to add to my collection for Jurassic. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that because I didn't even know about that. That is so exciting.
You know what I do? It's what I did to get mine from Brazil. I literally just go on Instagram and say, hey, anyone follow me from Brazil and want to help me? And usually someone's willing to help. And I had a very nice young woman help me find this one and go to the post office a couple times to figure out if they were shipping. So always nice to get someone to help another collector out. I mean, I obviously helped her out with some Amber Collection figures. So
that's awesome.
Win-win for everybody. In the age of coronavirus, win-win for everybody.
And that's kind of what I've been realizing lately is that we love the toys, obviously, otherwise we wouldn't buy them, but I think for me it's more than the toys themselves. It's kind of grown into like something about the stories behind the toys, the experiences of them, like who gave you this toy, where were you when you bought this toy, there's so many things going on in our lives, and I think everything.
Which Amazon country did you use to buy this toy?
Exactly. And for me, it's just becoming a lot more about the intrigue. And, I've talked about the NECA stuff, how impossible that stuff is to acquire. But would it be nearly as interesting if they weren't so hard to get, if the bots weren't buying them up instantly? I mean, we have all these stories to tell, behind, getting the toys. And now you have like your COVID Albertosaurus. So
right. No, totally.
Just an awesome thing. And I think that's beautiful. And it's awesome stuff. It's awesome stuff.
Totally. But I think there's probably more toys that we've got, Jurassic toys we could talk in Trophy Room, but I think we've gone on long enough and it's time to maybe talk about something else. So let's go see what's happening around the Jurassic world.
All right, around the Jurassic World, we finally got a Camp Cretaceous trailer, like a proper trailer after how long? When did we get the teaser?
I think the teaser, was it last San Diego Comic-Con? I don't know. No, it wasn't. I remember I was at work when the trailer dropped. I was in a meeting. I don't know, but it's definitely been a long time, and people have been like, where's the trailer? Where's the trailer? Finally, we got it.
And yeah, I guess it was maybe worth the wait. I mean, I don't know what the plan is in terms of the promotion. I mean, obviously we know that Target's doing their thing right now, and the series isn't coming out until, for another like month and a half. So, but no, it was really cool. Actually, I've only watched the trailer once. I haven't seen it since.
What?
Yeah, I've only watched it.
I've watched it probably 4 or 5 times, and the series comes out September 18th. So it's getting closer, certainly closer than a whole year away. But yeah, the trailer's got a lot of stuff to digest. It's kind of like a lot of quick cuts, just a lot of glimpses at action, and a lot of dinosaurs, obviously. I mean, we see Brachiosaurus. Why am I blanking? There's plenty of dinosaurs. There's Brachiosaurus. There's Carnotaurus, Indominus Rex for sure. There was T-Rex at the end. The Raptor Squad was there. That's right, like the Raptor Squad. I think I saw a Parasaurolophus in the back of a scene. Bumpy's there. I mean, there's just tons of dinosaurs and tons of action. I mean, I think a lot of people were when they heard it was like a kids animation show, that even myself, I was like, well, I mean, not that I wasn't excited, but I was like, how are they really gonna like make this like perilous Jurassic tale? Like, that's always what Jurassic boils down to, is like people in danger. And I'd say 80% of the trailer is kids running away from dinosaurs. So they certainly have it. We'll see if they can kind of get it to extend over a whole series, but I'm game. I'm on.
Yeah, me too. I have it on here in the background. No, it's cool. They've been trying to get an animated Jurassic series off the ground for a long time now. And the fact that it's finally, coming to fruition, and, we'll have some sort of Jurassic content to watch on Netflix, even if it's animated. I love the Clone Wars, I love Rebels and, all the Star Wars stuff. So, I mean, it's kind of a natural extension if you want to reach a little bit more of a different demographic, but also cater to, people that are huge fans of the property. So I think it looks really cool. The only question I have is, why would you put a zip line over the Mosasaur tank? But maybe we'll find out.
Right. Well, that darn Mosasaur lagoon moves all over the island. Maybe when they built the zip line, it wasn't there, and then it moved there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Point.
Yeah. But I think it looks cool, and I my favorite thing about Jurassic is sort of exploring behind the scenes of the park. I know there's a book, Evolution of Claire, that does that a lot, and if the show is more of that, then and it looks like it's going to be like that's very, very exciting. And obviously toys are exciting. I know there's like a vehicle in the trailer. It's like a 6x6 with the Camp Cretaceous logo. I'd love to get a toy of that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we'll see what happens. I think Camp Cretaceous, we got the McDonald's toys, we got the Target promotion, we got all this apparel, these toys. I'm sure there's promotions we don't even know about yet. I mean, hopefully it's going to be kind of a thing for a while, and maybe next year Mattel will kind of come with a bigger wave of even bigger wave of toys to support it.
Yeah, no, that's true. There's got to be more coming. I mean, fall's coming around. The holidays will be coming around.
Yeah.
There's going to be more stuff. They haven't really announced much. Comic-Con didn't happen this year, so we traditionally would have seen like stuff on display that's new.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so that didn't happen. So I assume that, in the coming months, things will start popping up, whether it's like their official announcements or more likely it'll be leaks and stuff online that we come across. So, but I think there'll be stuff.
Me too, and I hope that some of it's vehicles, and I definitely hope Darius isn't just the lone camper toy we get. I hope that
that'd be so sad.
I hope they find a way to get a few more out.
Yes.
So very cool. But besides Camp Cretaceous, we're also always talking about Jurassic World Dominion on the show, and we're just going to be talking about it more and more. Of course, we're not talking about spoilers, but I think we've talked about it on the show before. We know that Sam Neill and Laura Dern are coming back.
Yes. Yeah, so, this is something we've known for a while, but, now it's getting real. Jurassic World...
Yeah, now it's real.
Dominion is in production, and, it's getting real. There was the image of the hat, a couple days ago with Sam Neill, and it looks to be the JP3 hat, which, I think was a little darker than the original.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know how I feel about that, but
yeah, I don't know. That's what people were getting really excited about it, and I was like, well, that looks like the Jurassic Park 3 hat. That's not really doing anything for me. But who knows? Maybe he'll wear it for like 5 seconds, and it'll get like hit off of him by a raptor, and then he won't have a hat. Or maybe he'll pick up his other hat. Who knows? Or do we even really care about the hat? It's Alan Grant, right?
I mean, it's kind of like his thing. It's like Indiana Jones. You can't imagine him without the hat.
I see. For me, I'm going to say the blue shirt and red handkerchief are kind of his thing, not necessarily
that too. But that was the '90s. No, people don't wear khakis with like denim shirts like that anymore.
Yeah, but man, wouldn't it be cool if he just like came out of like a door with fog and just came out in that iconic outfit for the movie? It came out. That'd be so cool. It'd be so cool. And then Ellie comes out with her, thigh high shorts and her high socks. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna get that. But
nah, that's not gonna happen. But they are back and they are filming and they're posting all kinds of cool photos. I love Laura Dern's like announcement that she was returning to the role imminently was a picture of the Kenner Ellie Sattler action figure. She just put it up on her Instagram and said like she's getting back to work, and it's just like, oh, that is awesome that she still has the figure. I mean, come on, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. I mean,
I guess if you were a celebrity or an actor, if you had an action figure made of you, you'd probably keep that around. At least I would.
Heck yeah, I'd buy a bunch of them probably.
Yeah.
Or maybe I wouldn't buy any. I guess it would depend on how the figure looks. But I'd probably at least get one to keep in box and one to open at the bare minimum.
Yeah. Yeah, if I was Laura Dern, if you're listening, or if your assistant's listening, no, I would say that the Series 2 Ellie is a little bit more faithful in likeness. You should get that one. But the Series 1 is great too. It's a classic.
Yep. Yeah, you can't beat the classics.
All right, and getting into this new season of Collect Jurassic World, we haven't done a lot of, some hearing from our listeners, hearing from the community, but I'm excited to bring back this Your First Visit segment where we're asking you guys, like, what was your first real, like, memorable Jurassic moment? So I did ask my buddy Zach on Instagram. He goes by The Engine Incident. Let me just make sure I get the spelling right here because it's _engine_incident. So there's a couple underscores in there, but just another collector taking pictures, making customs, awesome stuff. We've done a couple of trades too. So I had to reach out and just, pick his brain. What was your first Jurassic memory? And he had this to say.
All right, so my first experience with Jurassic Park would have to be the Christmas of 1994. My mother and my grandmother and my aunt actually wound up getting me a lot of the Kenner stuff. And I can still remember the day as if it happened yesterday, and I can still recall each and every figure I got. The electronic Velociraptor, the electronic Dilophosaurus, a repackaged Series 1 Tim, a Dr. Grant with a bolus armor, and an Ellie Sattler Series 2, as well as the Jeep, and the command compound on top of that. So, as I'm sure you can imagine, it was a pretty big Christmas for me. I tore through the packaging. I didn't really know much about it, but there's something that instantly appealed to me with these toys. I'm going to be honest with you, I was more excited to get home and play with those toys than I was for Christmas the next day. I had to beg and plead my parents to put the command compound together. I couldn't wait. I had to see what adventures these characters could have. Unfortunately, I never had the red or young Rex as a kid, and I didn't even really know of its existence until picking up a Chaos Continues manual when my mother purchased me the game a few years later. I can remember the exact storyline of how I would play with these toys. The dinosaurs would break out, and it would be up to Tim, Lex, and Alan to go take the Jeep out into the park, and of course, trouble ensues. Pretty much all of my childhood, 24/7, was Jurassic Park. I played the Super Nintendo game, although I had no idea what I was doing. As of recent, I've actually put the Grant and the Baryonyx into a shadow box. I still have the electronic Velociraptor and Dilophosaurus, as well as the command compound. Unfortunately, as with all Jurassic Park toys, I'm sure we can relate, the vehicle went through a bit of damage, so that needed a bit of an upgrade and a repurchase later on in life. No matter how old I get, I can never forget those adventures I took those toys on and everything from my childhood that this franchise has brought. Much like a fine wine, it only gets better with age.
right, so the last thing here on Collect Jurassic World is we want to talk about our collector Q&A. It's been a little bit since we've done one of these, and we thought it was the right time to bring it back for our next episode. So basically, we want to hear from you guys, our listeners. We're constantly here talking about toys, and we want to take a moment and hear your burning questions regarding Jurassic Park, Mattel's Jurassic World toy line, anything you guys want to throw at us. So as we close out the show, you'll hear all of our social medias. There will be links in the show notes. And of course, you can always contact us through our fax machine or our email, collectjurassic@gmail.com, where you can send in your MP3s, and we'll do our best to play them in our next episode of Collect Jurassic World. So send them in. We're really looking forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you for listening. I'm Victoria.
And I'm Tim. And for even more Jurassic collecting info, please check us out online. You can visit our official website, collectjurassic.com. And we're also on social media at Collect Jurassic on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also be sure to check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/collectjurassic.
And you can find me by visiting the Victoria's Cantina YouTube channel. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Victoria's Cantina, and on Twitter at Vic's Cantina. You can also find the Cantina Chatter podcast as well as the Discoveryland show wherever you listen to podcasts.
And if you're listening through Apple Podcasts, please make sure to leave us a 5-star rating and an excellent review. Those are the park rules.
You can also get in touch with us by sending a message to the Fax Machine. That's collectjurassic@gmail.com.
So thank you for visiting, and we hope you've enjoyed your trip to the park.
Ladies and gentlemen, the park is closed. Please make your way towards the East Dock. We hope you'll book a return visit for another adventure into Collect Jurassic World.